All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Adam Baker, and here at the National Weather Service in Peachtree City. Thanks for joining our weekly webinar. So an overview of the next week, sadly, but certainly we've got a change in the pattern. So the last couple of days have been a little bit quiet with dry and increased temperatures in the afternoons. That's all going to change. It's going to be more active with increased shower and storm chances pretty much mainly tomorrow through the weekend and a little bit more uncertainty in the next week. But there's going to be a slow-moving disturbance approaching the northwest starting tomorrow, and we could have an increased chance for isolated severe storms with that. And I'll show you some of the latest updates from the Storm Prediction Center. Like I mentioned, into early next week, there's more uncertainty. There could be a stalled front or another disturbance that starts to approach the area. Currently, as of about 30 minutes ago, you can see the radar reflectivity here in the south. There are some showers that are starting to push slowly northward. That's kind of the big shift here, is that Gulf moisture is going to be returning to the area. But then as that couples with another disturbance, that's going to increase some of the energy for storms. Temperatures already are in the upper 80s for most of North Georgia, and a few areas you can see are actually above, already reached the 90 mark. Those are the areas without pretty much clear skies starting out this morning. If you want to use this web page, just use this tiny URL that's created here, and you can actually have the same observations overlaid with the radar reflectivity. So for today, mainly the greatest chance of any showers or storms are going to be confined to central Georgia and parts of the far northeast. Otherwise, we can't rule out just a slight chance anywhere elsewhere, but that's going to be ramping up pretty much throughout the forecast period. Temperatures in the low 90s, again, that's slightly above normal for this time of year. So here's what we have approaching the area. So this would be by Friday afternoon. Anything that's to the east of that dashed line is where the greater energy is going to be. And the winds are now out of the southwest, so that means that increased Gulf moisture will be across the whole southeast. So that means that the storm chances are going to be mainly high-end chance to even likely for most of the area. For Friday, we're looking at pretty much the northwest majority, 50 to 60% chance, and the updated day 2 outlook from the Storm Prediction Center actually has a marginal risk, mainly north of the I-20 to I-85 corridor. The greatest threat with any storms are going to be strong damaging winds. Hail is possible also, but winds would be a little bit greater chance. And then, of course, any locally heavy rain could bring a flooding threat with it as well. For the weekend, again, a little bit more widespread Saturday into Sunday. The greatest chance is going to be really on Saturday as that disturbance is pretty much right across the whole area, and we've got really good moisture coupled with that. Currently, the outlook doesn't have anything more than just a general chance for severe storms. We can't rule out something strong to severe going into it once we get a little bit closer. I would think some parts of the area could have a marginal risk, but we'll have to wait and see. Temperature is going to be a little bit cooler than what we've had, mainly because the cloud cover's increased and the storm chances are going to be a little bit more widespread, so that keeps the surface temperatures a little bit lower than normal. The 7-day total for rainfall, pretty much the northern majority is going to be 2 to 3 inches, but locally higher is possible. Any pretty robust storm could dump pretty much 2 to 3 inches in an hour to 2 hours. So locally, you could see decently higher than that. Now, this is the latest day 3 update, so that would be Saturday for the excessive rainfall. And that's going to be the northwest half of the area for Saturday. A little bit greater chance for any type of flooding threat and heavy rainfall. So, with that, it could be a little bit less of a chance for severe storms. It could be increased moisture enough for a flooding threat with that. So, put it in perspective here. Here's the weekly trend. I picked Atlanta on the top and Macon for the bottom here, so you can see that temperatures go back a little bit below normal for the weekend and the next week, though the chances ramp up to likely pretty much area-wide through Sunday and part of Monday. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, we've got that pretty much a 40 to 30% chance just based on uncertainty with the forecast. So, again, just to rehash everything, here's a summary. I do have, the slides should be up on that briefing page. So if you have, want to share that with anybody, feel free. And at this point, I'll go